Okay, if you're taking your notes just for a minute, please stop because we're going to cover this. So those of you that get close will actually be able to do the do now. Do understand that this stuff is going to be on the test, okay? So we're going to walk through the examples. There is something totally new that happens here. We're cross-multiplying now. So looking at this first example, this is saying faculty to students is 1 to 15. How many in here have seen a Hot Wheel before? Okay, on the Hot Wheels box, there's a number on it, okay? And it's usually 1 to 18. What does that mean?
Age.
What's that?
Age.
Age? How? Size. Size. So that little car being 1, if we take it and multiply it 18 times, do we get the full size? Okay? 1 to 18. Okay? That's what a ratio is at the end of the day. They're equal to each other, but we have to figure out what that proportion is. Okay? So we have a ratio here, 1 to 15. What does this mean? This means for every 15 students, there needs to be 1 faculty member. Okay? Or staff. So, if we have 675 students, how many faculty do we need? Well, we can figure this out. Because we take the 1 over 15, set it up, 675, we don't know how many faculty it is, but we can figure this out. Okay. Essentially, yes. But remember, we want to go through the steps, and the steps are the same. So we want to get the 675 by itself, right? We're going to multiply it by both sides. This becomes 67 times 1. We just put it at the top. Divided by 15, we get the faculty members. It's 45. 45 faculty members to 675 students. Do we understand? We'll go through it again. Yeah, you should, because the problems are going to get more complicated. There's going to be more going on with them.
Wow, so you sneak this in your
Yeah, oh, you put BMW ears.
Yes, that's how much the ears cost. I actually meant to put earns. Thank you. Well, it's always on top of it.
Also, you sneak this in your
I did. Well, I mean, is that even your name? No? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so our ratio 1 to 15, which means we're going to write this 1 to 15. We know one number, 675. These numbers should match themselves. 15 students, 675 students, so we know how to set the problem up. We don't know how many faculty member it is, but we know it's 1 to 15, right? So then we multiply the 675 by both sides, divide it, and we're able to figure out what x is. Or we can cross multiply and divide.
That's a tricky word to do the 45 times 15.
Yeah, you could put the number back in, and then it should come to the same result. Yes.
And if there's nothing wrong.
Yes, and you probably made a mistake someplace. Okay, let's look at the next one. Hector ate 53 and a half hot dogs in 12 minutes. First of all, that's a lot of hot dogs in a minute. That's moving. By the way, this is actually the record, the world record. 53 and a half hot dogs in 12 minutes.
I can do
Can you
that.
imagine how? I can't imagine what happened after the fact. Okay, so it's hot dogs over minutes. 53 and a half over 12, we divide it. We're not concerned about all this number, right? We want to know what number's close. We usually go to 2 decimal places. So we're looking at this third. If it's 5 or greater, we're increasing the next number. So 4.46. Or we could say 4.5, right? Because how are we going to have that hot dog and say, oh, he ate 0.46 of a hot dog? It's easier just to say half, right? So 4.5 hot dogs in a minute.
That's not bad.
That's moving.
That's a lot.
That's moving. That's moving.
Right, you put 4.5 hot dogs under here.
Yes.
Why in this grade class, you know how...
Oh, no. We're staying on focus right now. We're staying on focus.
But why are you rounding?
We're reporting because we want what's realistic, right? And typically we do 2 spots because 2 spots is what? You have a bag? Do you have a bag? Do you want to go put it up there or make sure it doesn't come out again? You make sure it doesn't come out again? That's a yes? Okay, thank you, sir.
So it wouldn't be 4.6?
No. And because this 6, if we're going to round it to one place, would turn that 4 to a 5, right? Do we see that?
Yes.
Okay. Can I move on to the next one?
Yes.
Are we good on this one?
Yes.
Okay. Reuben ran 15 miles per hour. What is his speed, feet per second? Okay? Well, we're saying he ran 15 miles in 1 hour, okay? So now we have to start converting. Well, 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Pretty impressive, right? So 1 mile equals this in a foot, okay? So we have this ratio here. Now we're going to go ahead and multiply these. 15 times 5280 is 72,200. We're at hours, so we're going to change it to minutes. We're going to divide. So 7,200 divided by 60 is 1320. Now we want to take it to seconds, right? Because it's feet per seconds. So now we take the 1320 divided by 60. It's 22 feet per second. Ruben, help me out with this.
No.
So if it's 22 feet per second, then Ruben is a JV snail at the end of the day, right? Actually, the reason why I pointed it out, Hoodie, is actually that's pretty slow. That's pretty slow. Okay. Any questions on this?
I'm good. Did you remember?
Okay, let's talk about it for a minute. 15 miles in an hour. It wants us to convert it to feet per second. Okay? So that means we have to figure out how many feet are in a mile. It's 5,280. How do I know that? I just do. It's also in the book. It's always. It doesn't change. The mile is still the mile in feet. Yeah.
In real life?
In real life, that's a real number. I'm giving you real data. So you can go home to moms and say, I walked a mile. Do you know what that means, moms? I walked 5,280 feet. So you'll say, girl, get to your room. Right? Okay. Again. So now we're taking it to feet. Okay, so we're going to take the miles, multiply it by the feet, because it's 5,280 feet. Well, times 15, right? He ran 15 miles. So we're going to multiply these, 79,200. Okay? It's still an hour, but we want to move it to minutes, and then we want to move it to seconds. Okay? So we're going to move it to minutes. So 79,200 divided by 60 is 1320. Bless you. Then we're going to take 1320 and divide it by seconds. Now we're there. We're 22 feet per second. So we got to keep going. We take it from the hour to 60 minutes to 60 seconds. Now we're at feet per second. Make sense?
I don't understand that one.
It's a conversion. Okay? It's no different than how many feet are in a yard? 3. How do you know that? Because a yardstick is 3 feet, right?
3 rulers.
Or, I'll take it, 3 rulers. That would count. Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna be on the test.
If you look at this question is very similar to the ones on your worksheet. Will you have one like it? Yes. You'll have one like this too.
No.
Might even be Reuben.
What?
Okay. Any questions on the first 3?
No.
Okay, conversions, right? Okay. Now here's the actual math. We have 5 over 9 equals 3 over W. How we do this is cross multiply and divide. So we're going to take 5 times W, 5W, 9 times 3. Does this look familiar?
Yes.
This is what we've been doing in this class, right? So 9 times 3 is 27. We know how to solve for this. We're getting W by itself. We're dividing by 5. What is this right here?
And Papa.
Very good. We got to turn it back proper. So we're going to take 27 divided by 5, which is 5 in a decimal. We ignore the decimal. 5 times 5 is 25. Subtracted by 27 is 2. So 5 and 2/5. Right? Do we want to do another one? You guys seem to love these. What's 7 over 5? Whose time to shine?
2 and 2 whole.
Stop it, girl.
2 and 2/5.
Stop. How many times is 5 go to 7?
1 and 2/5.
Hey. Good. Okay, let's move on. Any questions on this one? Cross, multiply, divide. Set the problem up, Reuben. So when you do this, to make sure that you're showing the steps so I can see the math in case you make a mistake. Yeah, we're going to do a few more like that. Okay, this next one.
That number
Yes.
two is like number 2?
D would be very similar to 2. Yeah. Good. Okay, this one. 8 over x plus 10, 1 over 12.
Okay, Liz, interrupting.
Okay, yes, I'd like to go up there. I'll be done in, Wolf, can we knock this out 4 minutes? 5, 6, okay, let's do this. Okay, so same exact thing, don't get confused that there's multiple things right here, okay? Stay with me, this is where I teach it. Okay, good. 8 times 12, okay, set it up in parentheses. X plus 1, or excuse me, x plus 10 and 1. Don't we know how to solve this? Distributive property. 1 times x is what?
1x,
And 1 times 10 is what?
10.
Do we know how to solve this problem? See how after really all the math is in this section is setting the problem up and then getting your cross dividing. You guys know how to do all this. Same thing. Conversions are a little difficult, but here's the good thing about the conversion. All your conversion factors will be on the test. And actually, it'll be laid out for you. You just have to fill in the boxes. You're welcome. Okay, so then 8 times 12, 96. X plus 10. How do we get x by itself?
Minus 10.
From both sides, 96 minus 10, 86. 8 equals 86. Any questions on this one? Okay, this one's just like this one. Don't get confused by the other letter, okay? It's going to be G3 in parentheses and 4 on the outside, due distributive property. Okay? Okay, this next one. 22 over 2, C plus 4 over 4, exactly the same as this one. Right, Hector? It's exactly the same. So we're going to put C plus 4 in the parentheses, 2 on the outside, and then 22 times 4. 22 times 4 is 88. We're going to multiply 2 times C, 2C, 2 times 4, 8. Then from here, we're going to get the C by itself. We're going to subtract 8 from both sides. 88 minus 8 is 80. And then 2C, we're going to divide by 2, we just solve for C. C is 40. Okay? Hector, don't write right now, please. Please, stay with me. Keanu, stay with me, please. We're almost there. I'm sorry? Yeah, ask that question one more time. That's the one we're always trying to solve for, yes. Because this is the unknown factor. All the rest of this, we know what this all is, right? But we're trying to get to this. We're trying to solve for this at the end of the day. Now notice how the steps are the same. How we work on the variable side, we work with the variable last, we do the inverse operation. All we're doing is building. There we go. Okay, next one. Nothing special about this one except we have a negative here, okay? So it's 3 times m, 3m, and then 5 times negative 10, negative 50. Divide both sides by 3. We have an improper fraction. 50 divided by 3 is 16 in a decimal, right? And then we take 3 times 16 and subtract it. That's 48. We have 2 left over, carry the 3. This is no different, just the number's a little bit bigger than this. Or then, where's the other one? This one right here. It's no different. We're just following the steps. Let the calculator do the work. Okay, any questions? Okay, so what are we doing different in this section now? Cross multiplying, that's it. That's it, that's all that's new, okay? Once you cross multiply, you guys know how to do this. If you've got something in here, you got the distributive property, and then you're trying to get the variable by itself. Solve all the same rules that you know, okay? So let's talk about the do now. So BMW earns $52.50 in 7 hours.
No, you get cut off and that's the thing.
So how will we find the rate? It's unit rate. We're going to take the 52.50 and we're going to divide it by 7. And that's going to give us what our unit rate. Let me tell you why unit rates are important. When you go into Walmart and you're looking at 18 different brands of cornflakes, guess what they do on the price tag besides the price? They give you the unit price. That's telling you the true price. What do I mean by the true price? What happens when you go to Circle K and you get a Polar Pop and a bag of chips, and you open up the bag of chips?
There's air.
Half of it's air, right? They can't lie on what the ounces are. The ounces, what's truly in there, is there. But they're trying to get to our brains. They're using pretty little colors and uniforms and all this sort of stuff to get us to buy something, right? The packaging is intentional to try to get you, right? 30% bigger or whatever. Maybe the bag's actually bigger and so on. So you have those factors, but when it comes to a grocery store and you're buying actual items, you want to focus on that unit price if you're looking for the cheapest price. Make sense? And that's why unit price is important. Okay, this one. Cross multiply, divide. Cross multiply, divide, right? Distributive property. Cross multiply and divide. Cross multiply and divide. Cross multiply and divide. Okay, make miracles happen.
Watch them like they never happen.